I have 70 years and beyond worth of stories to tell. I was born in 1950 in Greensboro, North Carolina. Today, the world is changing so fast. Everything is moving so quickly. I want to hang on to my stories. I want to share my stories of yesterday. I want to talk about my life today. And I want to share history the way I remember it. Welcome to 70 Years and Beyond. Welcome to 70 Years and Beyond. My name is Wambui Bahati, and today I have something very special I want to share with you. While I've been away, I've been working on a few projects. One of the projects I've been working on has finally been born, and that is what I want to share with you today. You know, I love trivia, nostalgia, all that kind of thing. Well, that's what this whole channel is all about. Trivia, nostalgia, memories. Well, I always wanted to have my own trivia game. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. My own trivia game that I created with the help of AI, Claude. Now, we fact-checked and we fact-checked and we fact-checked some more. What I want you to know is that if you should find anything that is not correct, then let me know and we are going to fix it. Okay? Now, the other thing I want you to know is you don't have to leave an email, you don't have to join, you don't have to sign up, you don't have to register. You just go to the website. I'm going to leave that link in the bottom in the description. I'm going to leave that link there. Where it lives right now is trivia-wambui-bahati.com. You just go there and you just play. You don't have to do anything. You just go and you play. And that's what I'm going to demonstrate to you right now. So I'm going to switch over to sharing my screen with you. Come on, let's see how it works. Welcome to my screen. Welcome to Do You Remember When? A nostalgic trivia game for the 50s, 60s, and 70s. The game is pretty straightforward. There are 3 decades. By the way, I was born in 1950. So we have the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, or all decades combined, and random questions will appear. So when you're ready to play, you simply click on the decade that you want to receive questions from. For instance, I'm going to start with the 50s. So you would just click on the 50s. Once you click on that, you say, hey, let's play. And then a question will immediately pop up. What 50s classroom ritual involved pupils standing to recite something every single morning? Okay, and this says that it's the category of school days and the decade of the 50s. And I remember this so well because I pledge allegiance. I think that's what they're talking about. What if I'm wrong? I'm thinking it's the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. So I remember that was like every day we had to pledge allegiance. But let's see. What do you think? Pledge allegiance, or was there something else that I just totally missed? Let's see. What 50s classroom ritual involved pupils standing to recite something every single morning? The Pledge of Allegiance. The phrase "under God" was added to the Pledge of Allegiance in 1954 during the war era. Okay, so not only do you get an answer when you reveal, you get an answer, but you get a little snippet of trivia history under each answer. Okay, and if you want to go back and say, what did that say again? You can just flip it back and say, okay, I get the question now. And then you can reveal so you can do that as many times as you'd like. And then you go on to the next question. What singer was known as the Velvet Fog and had a smooth, jazzy style that filled the 50s living rooms? Okay, what singer? The Velvet Fog. I've never heard the Velvet Fog reference to anyone before, so I don't know. Again, 50s, and this is music. Who was the Velvet Fog? A smooth, jazzy style that filled 50s. All right. I'm sure some of you know. I don't know. So I'm going to tap to reveal. Mel Torme. Mel Torme was also composed the holiday classic, the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting. Okay. Wow, Mel Torme. I never would have guessed that in a million years. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next question. What brand of lunchbox, often featuring your favorite TV cowboy, did kids carry to school in the 1950s? Okay, so I remember lunchboxes so well. Oh my goodness, the memory of lunch, those metal lunchboxes. So I don't know what brand of lunchbox. Wow, I don't know. I just all of a sudden had this memory of the lunchbox, and it had a little hook for the thermos where you could put your milk in the thermos and put it in your lunchbox to help keep it cold. Okay, so yeah, because when I was in the 50s, when I was first in school, we didn't have a cafeteria. So we would eat at our desks. So we brought lunchboxes. But let's see what brand of lunchbox they're referring to that often featuring your favorite TV cowboy. Okay, let's see. Roy Rogers. Okay, I remember Roy Rogers and Hopalong Cassidy. Okay, Roy Rogers and Hopalong Cassidy lunchboxes. The first metal lunchbox featuring a character was Hopalong Cassidy in 1950. It sold 600,000 units in the first year. Roy Rogers and Hopalong Cassidy. All right. One more question from the 50s. What type of neighborhood, rows of nearly identical suburban houses, was built by the thousands after World War II? What type of neighborhood? I can only think of the word suburban neighborhood, or track houses. I remember when all there would be neighborhoods full of the same houses up and down the street. They all look the same. Maybe the shingles might be a different color on some of them, but they were the exact same house side by side for rows and rows. So I'm going to say track. What type of neighborhood, though? Track neighborhood, suburban. Was that what suburban is? You know? Okay, I'm going to reveal. What type of neighborhood, rows of nearly identical suburban houses, was built by the thousands after World War II? Levittown, suburban subdivisions. Okay, William Levitt built the first Levittown in 1947, creating mass-produced suburban housing for returning veterans. Okay, I never heard of Levittown or William Levitt. Okay, but I do know those were rows and rows of mass-produced suburban housing that in my neighborhood, in some of the neighborhoods near me, all the houses just looked identical. Okay, should we do one more? Let's start over and go to all decades, and let's do a few of all decades. Now, I didn't write all of these questions myself. Some of them are AI generated. And as I said before, we did fact check and fact check again. But if you spot something, then please let me know so we can fix it. Okay, so I didn't want to write all the questions because I wanted to have fun playing my own game. So I didn't want to write everything that I would just know the answer to or everything that was on my mind. I wanted to be able to play the game and also have memories come back to me or get insight on something that I had forgotten about or that I didn't even know myself. All right, so let's do all decades. And what song, often learned at school, had kids putting their right hand in and shaking it all about? Oh, you put your right hand in, you take your right hand out, put your right hand in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and something, something, something. Okay, right? I don't know what the name of the song is. It the hokey pokey? What song, often learned at school, had kids putting their right hand in and shaking it all about? I'm going to say the Hokey Pokey. I don't know. What do you think? Hokey Pokey? Oh, let's see. Hokey Pokey. The Hokey Pokey was a staple of school dances and PE classes. It originated in British pop culture before becoming a children's song. And on that hokey pokey note, I'm going to end right here. I'm going to invite you to come over and play the game. Like I said, you don't have to join, you don't have to sign up, you don't leave an email. You just come over and just start playing. And I hope you have fun and find it as interesting as I do. And on that note, I'm going to also I'm going to be adding some new stories very soon to the channel. And in the meantime, I just want you to stay wonderful and stay well. And I will be back really soon. Okay? So bye-bye for now. 70 years and beyond. Wambui Bahati.